My name is Dina Saunders Green. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Pines Creative Incorporated, and we're doing business as Green Pines Media. I actually started out in social work. About 10 years ago, I worked with young adults after they left the foster care system. They struggled with just learning how to do things that we would typically learn in the context of a family. You know, not just how do I fill out a job application, but just, how much does it cost to live life, to get an apartment, to get on the bus, or things like doing laundry, and we were teaching life skills that included things like trying to help them find a job or, being able to get gainful employment. But a lot of times the youth, what I learned later on, they were frustrated because they felt like we were trying to gear them towards jobs at like fast food places or retail stores. And what I would hear from the youth is those jobs can't sustain us and they're never going to help us pay our bills. Why can't you guys teach us social work or life skills in the context of something that we like art or music? And that just resonated with me, and I eventually left traditional social work to start this company, to start Green Pines Media, and we help young people between the ages of 18 and 30 showcase and monetize their artwork. So it's a way to teach life skills, but it's under the context of entrepreneurship using their art and their music. As a social worker, I didn't really know much about business. I ended up hiring an amazing consultant, but she taught traditional business and entrepreneurship, which is great, but I knew I had something that was a little different. I learned later on that what I was doing is called social entrepreneurship. And basically, it's starting a traditional business with the intention of solving a social problem, which in our case, it's what happens with young people after they leave the system. And typically that would be foster care, but it's also the juvenile justice system, children's mental health. Then I also realized that there were so many youth who would have been in the system had people known about what was happening behind closed doors. So we've expanded that a bit to focus on young people who've just been impacted by child abuse, neglect, and trauma. So some of our artists have experienced homelessness. Some of them have been in gangs and have decided to leave that lifestyle and focus on their art and also advocate for other young people who have been through what they went through. So in order to do that and really learn business skills and really learn social entrepreneurship, I ended up going back to school, working on a second master's degree at USC. In the Marshall School of Business, they have this amazing program called Social Entrepreneurship, and it's just teaching us how to run Green Pines Media in a sustainable way, because our goal is to make money and generate revenue as we're showcasing the artwork of our young adults, because we want to make sure we're sustainable. If our doors don't stay open, we can't pay our bills, we can't pay our artists. So this has really been helpful. When I first started out, I thought we'd be an indie publishing company. I ended up writing a book called Angelique, a transitional age youth novel, which is an authentic story about just one young lady's journey. It was her life before, during, and after her time in foster care. And I got some really good feedback, and I thought, well, I'll help our young adults share their stories and help them write novels. And I'd go out and speak with a bunch of youth about what we were doing and, share the novel with them. And the feedback I got was, that's great, Miss Dina, you wrote a book. I don't read, and I don't tell my story through novels. I tell my story through my art, through my paintings, through my music. So I realized, okay, we need to pivot here. And so now what we do is we work with young adults based on whatever it is their artistic interest is. For example, if someone is a painter, we will license a photo of that painting, and we will then use that photo on merchandise. Right now we have our Just Journals project, where we're putting artwork on journals. We sell the journals and then split the profits 50-50. We are also experimenting in other areas. For example, we formed a partnership with a company in Brazil called Badu Design. What they're doing is they're taking textiles that people normally would throw away, and they are finding ways to recycle and reuse those textiles by creating useful products. So we have Badu bags, which are essentially backpacks and purses made out of recycled seat belts. And we are able to put our artists' artwork on those backpacks and bags as another source of revenue. We're also working with vocal artists. They are insanely talented. They're already out there performing at different venues. They're already creating music videos. This is a true partnership. So we're teaching them the process. We are opening up our records. We're showing them what it costs us to create, how much we're charging, what shipping, what the taxes are. So they really have a good understanding of the business practices behind their artwork. So if they choose to go further, then they're able to do that, and they have a really good model. We allow them to be as involved or as uninvolved as they want to be in this process. We still send them money on a regular basis if their merchandise does sell, because it's all about supply and demand. So we just send money into their accounts, either Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We pay them in a form that resonates with them because we want to make it really easy for them. And over time, once we establish trust, they tend to want to become more involved with the process, which is amazing, because as we're working with them to help them showcase and monetize their artwork, they're now getting services with other organizations, nonprofits out there that are part of the Independent Living Program, nonprofits that teach them budgeting, nonprofits that help them with their housing. So we just cover a small piece, which again focuses on helping them showcase and monetize their artwork. Working with this population has never been just a job for me. My husband and I have been foster parents. Our oldest just turned 30 and they're still struggling. So the challenge was, what can we do to better help this population in a way that's sustainable, in a way that helps us as well, And what we found is that this is the best way to accomplish all of those things. So we can help young people, we can have a sustainable business, we can have something that lasts, and we can create amazing music and showcase amazing artwork in the process. To me, it's still social work, but it's just giving me the ability to do social work in a completely different way.
Shooting for the stars, ain't no turning back now. We've come too far, far. Although our knees get weak, we get our strength from above. When they throw in all that shade, we just keep reaching for the sun. Sit back and ask yourself, what are you really here for? And oh, it's such a good feeling, such a good feeling. On top of the world, looking up again. And oh, it's such a good feeling, such a good feeling. Loving myself enough to rise above it all. Rise above it all. Now I can look up again. I am flying so high. Don't wanna come down on the ride of my life, and I ain't slowing down. For what you see, this is just what I needed to keep me going. I've been waiting all my life for this moment, so I gotta stay focused on the road ahead. Ahead of me is a path, and I can see it so clearly now. There ain't no looking back now. And oh, it's such a good feeling, such a good feeling. Being on top of the world, looking up again. And oh, it's such a good feeling, such a good feeling. Loving myself enough to rise above it all. Rise above it all. Now I can look up again. such a good feeling. Being on top of the world, looking up, and oh, it's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. Loving myself enough to rise above it all. Oh, rise above it all. Now I can look up again.
Trying to change something. I'm just 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 trying to change something. Trying to change something.
Yo, what's good? Listen, some of y'all know my story. I grew up in foster care. I'm a former foster youth. My journey has had highs and lows, but along the way, the highs have been the people that I've been connected to and the companies. One of those companies is Green Pines Media. They're a company that's set up to help youth who have been impacted by the system monetize their gifts and creativity. Listen, if y'all are a supporter of me, y'all will be a supporter of them. They're great people.
So, without further ado, Anthony Gray.
Just seeing how she just changed my whole perspective on social work is way deeper than that. She's finding innovative ways to help these kids heal in this life that that we just so tired of. So I just want to say thank you. I'm actually one of the people that she sent to South by Southwest when I was just giving up on life, period, and being consumed by my sickness. And she was just like, well, I'm gonna help you. Her and her husband teamed up and sent me and my boy. So I just want to say that I love y'all.
Not entertain, we edutain, so let's get it. I ain't tripping up the trials that I'm facing. Look, I'ma make it, I'm patient to get the top, cause the top is a limitation. Just trying to move something, you know, change the situation. I'm just trying to build something, but just
Dina, what you're doing through this social enterprise, what you're doing is very, it's important. That's why I want to use that word, because I am one of the older youth. I'm almost 30. I'm 29, and I wish I had somebody when I was younger to believe in my art the way that she believes in the foster youth. Yes. So it's very important what she's doing, and I believe in it, and I'm with it all the way. And that's what I wanted to share, because those are some of the main things that foster youth deal with: is support, it's trust, and it's working through that trauma.